Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect. This is the round of 4 in the ELD Legacy Open, and Matt opening up on a Magus of the Moon on the first turn, usually a death sentence for Delver strategies. However, Brian does have the basic island. However, now Matt adds on a Chalice at 1, and it doesn't look like it gets much better than that. He is at 17 now from this Delver swing. Ancient Tomb tapping only once before it became a mountain due to Magus. Two more coming in. This Delver of Secrets not flipping. Could be good enough to win the race on its own without support, but now we've got some support, and that is Dazed, along with another island. Force of Will joins Ryan's defenses in his hand, and now swinging in. And he's got double blue. He could go on to cast a card like True Name Nemesis. I mean, this is highly unusual for the Blood Moon decks to really be playing a game where your opponent has all of their options available to them. The only issue right now for Ryan is a lack of white mana, and of course that Chalice of the Void, which is going to cut off a lot of his white spells as well. Cards like Swords to Plowshares. Very important with dealing with opposing creatures. But the race is on. Right now, Ryan behind on board. $14 all. Matt capable of doing 4 a turn. Ryan 3 a turn. And Jace the Mind Sculptor going to go ahead and Fate Seal. And Ryan opting to use Delver as a blocker. And now we have a very interesting situation. Blood Moon coming down. So I believe Ryan was hoping to kind of unlock himself from this situation by bouncing Magus, trading with the other. Now he's lost his clock with no ability to get his mana base back. That gamble may not have played out for him if that was his line. What will Jace do here without fetch lands to go along with his Brainstorm? Much, much worse. Magus bounced. Ryan just preserving his life total at this point. Magus coming back down. Hard cast Force. Now if Matt doesn't have anything else in hand, this could be a great time to try and Fate Seal him out of the game. Jace could do it on his own. Fate Seal keeping. Oh, but there is a creature in his hand. I believe that's from Modern Horizons. Alpine Guide, I believe, is the card. I'll go ahead and pull that up. See if there's any other text here that we need to know about. And True Name Nemesis, a very dangerous addition to Ryan's side of the board now. That's going to be able to block anything and get through anything. He has protection from everything Matt can hope to do. Another Chalice of the Void. And now Jace looking to just Fate Seal things out of the game. Alpine Guide. When it enters the battlefield, you search your library for a mountain. When it leaves, you sacrifice a mountain. Not a whole lot of good gets done by playing and replaying him. It does thin your library a little bit from here. A Morph now, and I believe that's going to be Zoetic Cavern. Jace the Mind Sculptor, Fate Sealing again. Ryan considering whether or not that card is a threat. He will allow it to remain on top. And it looks like additional morphs. Got an Unsummon from Jace. Zoetic Cavern being revealed. Anytime that changes zones, you do need to show what it is. Jace being beaten down here. Looks like Ryan abandoning the Jace plan and just going to try and close things out with the True Name. 2 more swings. Down to just 2 life. Fate Seal. And a Delver of Secrets. Likely just as a chump blocker here. And game number 1 is in the books. Matt with his back up against the wall in what looks like a favorable matchup on paper. We'll see what Ryan's mana base is actually about here as it gets tested with these moon effects. A first turn Blood Moon very often game over or close to it in this format depending on the opponent's mana base, but Ryan just coolly playing those basics and the whole time able to play underneath Blood Moon. Is certainly a solid attribute of a deck in this format right now. This is about a month after the recording of this ELD Open. So Renin 6, part of the metagame now. No basics actually part of the metagame at this point as well. And 4-color decks all over the place, so Blood Moon in a very interesting metagame spot. Mana base is getting increasingly greedy. Ryan sideboarding here, thinking it through. Dragon Stompy, one of those decks a lot of people just hope not to play against. A Chalice, Blood Moon, depending on your deck's construction, that might just be a match you're willing to just not even bother sideboarding for if you don't think you're going to be able to make it a decent matchup post-board. May just save your sideboard slots and hope to dodge it. Dredge, another deck like that for many people. There are some decks that just have such a poor matchup versus Dredge that you're not even going to attempt to smooth that over, seeing as how it's not that played in Legacy. Certainly nowhere near as common as it is in Vintage, where it picks up Bazaar of Baghdad. And this is the last ELD Open, I believe, with the Vancouver Mulligan. Now, in the future, using the London Mulligan, the sky has not fallen, and it does seem to have proved really every level of Magic, from Legacy to Limited, Standard. Just better starting hands across the board. Chalice, Force of Will from Stoneblade down to just 3 cards, and a Wasteland on the Ancient Tomb. Was Matt all in on this Chalice? Chrome Mox, a City of Traders into Zoetic Cavern, 2 cards left. And the beats begin in another Zoetic Cavern, 2 morphs, and this is probably the most savage Zoetic Cavern beatdown I've ever seen. Ryan's life total just shedding so quickly here. And he will scoop it up. No lands, no chance. Let's just go on to game number 3 and hope to avoid that type of situation. So he was able to force the Chalice, Wasteland that first land, but had no follow-up and was promptly beaten down by those morph Zoetic Caverns. Almost feels like a quirky deck building choice, but the deck does struggle with threat density, so the ability to use your mana base as a beatdown element in the right circumstances is nothing to scoff at when your opponent can't play Magic due to Chalice and Blood Moon. You just want to make sure that when that does happen, you're able to take advantage of it. Simian Spirit Guide playing a similar role is either being acceleration or something that can actually close the game out later on. They are both bodies as well that can be added in, potentially protecting a card like Magus of the Moon against effects like Liliana's Triumph. Matt going to 6 here. Checks the top of the deck, consults his hand, thinks that he can do better. And Ryan again with a basic island. And Blood Moon may be underwhelming here. Ponder's going to shuffle. Ponder here for Ryan. And Wasteland as well. Basic Mountain. Now a fetch land. Gonna be able to fetch white. He has to go with the Tundra. That gets Sword of Fire and Ice. Things looking good for Ryan so far. Only thing would have been nice to see a basic Plains instead of that Tundra. That would have really just left him in a extremely solid position. And now we've got Karn, the Great Creator. The Great Creator? The new Karn, or the Spark Karn. This guy an absolute powerhouse in Vintage and Legacy. He is finding a home. Really interesting card. Starts with a bunch of loyalty. And liquid metal coating. And that's going to wreak some havoc. Let's see what he does with it. Liquid metal coating. A lot of potential shenanigans here. City of Traders. And now another Karn. And Ensnaring Bridge. Not looking to empty his hand in a hurry. Chrome Mox certainly can help with that. It looks like Ensnaring Bridge would get him out of range of the Batterskull at this point. Can it resolve? And a morph. Vendilion Click shows Zoetic Cavern, Liquid Metal Coating, and Ensnaring Bridge. Still not sure what combo he's looking to pull off with the Liquid Metal Coating. Would prevent any activated abilities with Karn on board, but Karn is long gone now. That attack step. Vendilion Click and Batterskull. Sword of Fire and Ice. Ryan's case for winning this game getting stronger and stronger. But Ensnaring Bridge is going to resolve. I believe that's Seasoned Pyromancer from Modern Horizons. Just 2 cards in hand. When it enters the battlefield, discard 2 cards, then draw 2 for each non-land discarded. Create a 1/1 elemental. Also has almost like a flashback where you can exile it to create 2 red elementals from your graveyard. Ensnaring Bridge. Cleared Blood Moon in hand. Doesn't look like it's going to help. This is a dire situation here. Batterskull will be able to get either equipped to something or shipped over later. Can Ryan find another land drop? 7 in the air. +1 on the ground from Stoneforge. It looks like Matt's going to have 1 turn to answer. And he does not have it. That is going to do it. So Ryan taking it down and moving on to the finals. That is all for this one. But don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.